Hello, and welcome to History's a Blast for another periodic Throwback Thursday rail fanning slideshow. This time we'll go back to the Santa Fe line in the Illinois River Valley during the late 1990s as it merged with the Burlington Northern to form today's nameless conglomerate, BNSF. It was the sunset of the Santa Fe. My late friend Harry Stegmeyer, who I introduced in the B&O West End slideshow, talked me into these trips. In the 1980s, the Santa Fe, its full name was Atchison, Topeka and Santa Fe, recreated the famous Warbonnet paint scheme that had once graced its diesel passenger locomotives on the wide cab freight locomotives it was running at the time. Harry knew the Warbonnets' days were numbered, and he wanted to photograph them one more time before they disappeared. So off we went. Once in October of '96 and again in May of '98. The main attraction on the Santa Fe line across this part of Illinois, southwest of Chicago, was, and probably still is, watching westbound trains climb the steep, for the Midwest that is, 6-mile grade called Edelstein Hill, just west of Chillicothe. So we'll start at the top of the hill, then move east to Chillicothe, cross to the east bank of the Illinois River, and stop for some trackside shots at places that we thought had nice railroady backdrops. At Edelstein, the State Highway 40 overpass at the top of the grade had good views in both directions. There was a lot of high-speed road traffic going to and from work in nearby Peoria mornings and afternoons, but the wide shoulder allowed us to be well off the roadway. And track-level photography from public land in the tiny village and at a grade crossing on its western edge was also no problem. About 200 yards from the turnoff into Edelstein, we headed east on Santa Fe Road to another overpass with good views and sun angles in both directions. Here, just under 1.5 miles from the top of the grade, the locomotives were really working and you could hear westbounds coming a long way off. Look at the smoke coming from the stack of the lead unit on this underpowered BN train loaded with steel coils. It actually stalled on the hill behind us shortly after I took this shot. The dispatcher was not happy, as we could hear on our scanners. 3 miles further east, Santa Fe Road almost touches the right-of-way, and there was a nice open area from which to capture westbounds on sweeping Houlihan's curve at the end of the 3-mile-long tangent coming out of Chillicothe. The Chillicothe Depot housed an Amtrak station served by the Southwest Chief, running between Chicago and Los Angeles until the route changed in 1996. The sign was still up in October of that year, but I'm not sure if the station was still open. The Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific, the road to ride in Johnny Cash's ballad, also once served Chillicothe. In 1996 and today, the Rock Island line was operated by the Class II Regional Iowa Interstate Railroad when we photographed the beautifully preserved Rock Island Station. It's still there in 2021, home to a Rock Island Railroad Museum. Several miles north of Chillicothe, on State Highway 29, we turned left on Highway 17 into the little village of Lacon. About 6 miles southeast of here, the Santa Fe follows Crow Creek as it crosses the Illinois River's broad, fertile eastern floodplain. We shot a lot of slides, not always at the right time of day for good sun angles, from overpasses on County Roads 16 and 12. One of those through-deck girdered bridges over Crow Creek was very close to the Route 12 or Wilburn Road overpass. From here, We ranged pretty far to the northeast, almost to the edge of the Chicago suburb of Joliet, in search of more little places with railroady backdrops. One of these was the village of Verona, which offered long telephoto shots on a tangent in both directions, framed by signal bridges and a grain elevator. And a little farther east at Maison, a little station stood to pose with westbounds. Finally, Harry knew that over on the old Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, then the Burlington Northern, soon to be BNSF, both of the east and westbound Amtrak California Zephyrs between Chicago and San Francisco via Denver made station stops at Princeton, Illinois close enough together that we might not have to wait a long time for both if they were on time. So we paid a visit, and lo and behold, we got them both. Those were fun trips. We talked about a return trip a few times over the years, but my work schedule, the railroad's hyper-secure post-9/11 attitude toward rail fans, and later Harry's declining health prevented us from ever going back. And in fact, we both sort of hung up our rail fanning days after Conrail went away. Frankly, neither one of us was much interested in the mega merger conglomerates offering almost nothing but unit trains of coal hoppers, endless miles of double-stacked containers or trailers on flat cars. Even the occasional mixed freight was festooned with inner-city graffiti. So I'm left with the photographic memories of middle age, which I'll gladly continue to share with you if you're interested. That's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed this video and will take time to view some of our other ones. Thanks for watching. Please click the thumbs up icon to like the video and share with your friends via email or social media. I'd love to have you subscribe, and if you do, please click the little bell icon so you'll get notifications whenever I post a new video. Goodbye.